There is a conversation coming your way, Aquarius, and it is not a small one. It is not the kind of exchange you forget the next morning. This is the kind of conversation that sits with you for days, maybe weeks, and slowly you realize that something inside you has shifted because of it. You cannot always predict when these moments will arrive. They do not announce themselves. They come wrapped inside ordinary situations. A phone call you almost did not answer, a message you almost dismissed, a chance meeting with someone you had not seen in a long time. And then the words start flowing, and by the time the conversation ends, you know your life has quietly moved in a new direction. That is what is approaching for you right now. The universe has been arranging the pieces for a while, and this conversation is the point where those pieces finally click together. You are someone who thinks deeply. You are someone who values honesty and substance over small talk and surface pleasantries. And because of that, when a real conversation finds you, you recognize it immediately. You feel it in your chest. You feel it in the way your mind lights up and starts moving in new directions. Something is coming that will light you up in exactly that way. Stay open. Stay present. Do not rush it and do not run from it. The 11 clues in this message will help you understand what is already happening beneath the surface of your life, and why this conversation, when it arrives, is going to mean so much more than it first appears. Clue 1. You have been asking questions that have no easy answers. For the past several weeks, maybe even longer, you have been sitting with questions that are not easy to answer. Not questions about small things. Not questions about what to eat for dinner or which movie to watch. These are the kinds of questions that come from a place deep inside you, the part of you that is always reaching for something more, something truer, something that actually makes sense of this complicated world. Aquarius, you are one of the rare people who genuinely wrestles with the big ideas. You do not accept surface explanations. You do not nod along just because everyone else in the room seems satisfied. You push further. You ask why, and then you ask why again. And lately, that questioning energy inside you has been louder than usual. It has been waking you up at odd hours. It has been making you feel restless in situations that used to feel comfortable. It has been nudging you towards something, though you could not quite name what. This is the first clue that a significant conversation is on its way to you. When Aquarius starts asking the deep questions, when that internal restlessness kicks in and refuses to settle, it is almost always because the universe is preparing you to receive an answer. Not through reading, not through meditation alone, though both of those things have their place. Through a person. Through a direct exchange of words with someone who is carrying a piece of the puzzle that you have been missing. You may not know this person yet. You may know them quite well. But they are coming, and they are bringing something with them. The questions you have been carrying are not random. They are specific to where you are in your life right now. They are pointing you toward a direction, and the conversation that is coming is going to either confirm that direction or reveal a completely new one that is even better suited to who you truly are. Aquarius is an air sign, and air signs communicate their way into clarity. You do not always find your answers by sitting in silence. Sometimes you find them by talking out loud with the right person, by hearing your own thoughts reflected back at you in a different voice, by having someone challenge your ideas in a way that makes them stronger or dissolves them entirely if they were not serving you. This is what is approaching. So pay attention to the questions that are alive in you right now. Write them down if you need to, because when that conversation arrives, those questions are going to be the heart of it. The things you have been trying to figure out on your own are the very things you are about to begin working through with someone else. And that collaboration, that meeting of two minds, is going to unlock something that neither of you could have reached alone. Clue 2. Someone from your past is about to resurface. There is a person who once occupied a meaningful space in your life. A friend, a mentor, a former colleague, someone you were close to for a season before life pulled you in different directions. This person knew you well at a specific point in your journey. They saw who you were before you became who you are now. And for reasons that will become clear when it happens, they are about to come back into your orbit. This reunion is not accidental. The timing is meaningful. This person is carrying a perspective on your life that you cannot get from anyone currently around you, because they knew the version of you that existed before certain decisions were made, before certain doors opened or closed. Aquarius, you have changed considerably since this person was last a regular presence in your life. You have grown in ways that are hard to fully explain to people who only know the current version of you. But this person from your past will see it immediately. They will notice the shift. They will recognize the evolution. And in recognizing it, they are going to say something to you that validates, challenges, or clarifies a journey that has sometimes felt lonely to navigate. When someone who knew you then meets who you are now, the conversation that emerges can be extraordinarily revealing. It is like looking at a before and after picture of yourself, except the picture is alive and breathing and speaking directly to you. The conversation that comes from this reunion will carry a weight that surprises you. It will not be mere nostalgia, though there may be warmth and memory in it. It will be something more forward-looking. This person will say something, maybe without even realizing how significant it is, that connects a thread between your past and your future. Something will click into place that you have been trying to click into place on your own. Pay attention when this person reaches out. Pay attention to what surfaces in the conversation. There is a message inside it that is meant specifically for you. If what you are hearing feels accurate, know that it could happen if you applied this energy consistently for 21 consecutive days. That is the 21-day challenge pinned at the top of this channel. It is built around daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you are tired of staying in the same cycle, that structure is exactly what has been missing. Clue 3. Your mind has been running faster than your circumstances can keep up. You have been having thoughts lately that feel almost too big for your current situation. Ideas that your current environment does not quite know what to do with. Solutions to problems that the people around you have not even recognized as problems yet. This is classic Aquarius energy, but right now it is amplified. You are operating on a frequency that is slightly ahead of everything around you, and while that is not new for you, the gap feels wider lately. You think in terms of what could be, what should be, what will eventually be once people catch up. And sometimes that gap is exhilarating, and sometimes it is isolating. The conversation that is coming is going to close that gap, at least partially. The person you are about to speak with is someone who can match your pace. Someone who is not going to look at you blankly when you start talking about the things that truly fascinate and drive you. Someone who will not ask you to slow down or simplify. They will actually accelerate alongside you, and together you will reach a place in the conversation that neither of you has ever reached before. That experience of being truly mentally matched by another person is one of the most profound things an Aquarius can experience. When you feel that mental synchrony with another person, something opens up in you. The walls come down a little. The emotional guardedness that you sometimes carry gives way to genuine connection. And in that openness, you receive information, insight, and understanding that your more guarded self would have kept at a distance. The conversation coming your way is not just intellectual. It is going to touch something emotional too, and that combination is what makes it life-changing rather than merely interesting. Clue 4. There is a decision you have been circling without making. You know what it is. You have been thinking about it, looking at it from different angles, running the calculations in your head, talking yourself into it and then out of it again. Aquarius is thoughtful and analytical by nature, and you do not rush major decisions. That is often a strength. But right now there is something specific that you have been circling for too long, and the energy around you is building toward a moment of resolution. The conversation that is coming is going to be part of that resolution. It is going to give you information or perspective that finally tips the scales one way or the other. You might not even mention this decision directly in the conversation. That is the interesting thing about how these moments work. The insight does not always come from a direct discussion of the thing you are trying to decide. Sometimes it comes sideways. Someone says something about their own life, their own choices, their own experience with a similar crossroads, and it lands on you in a way that suddenly makes your own path completely clear. You will feel that clarity land. You will feel the internal shift, that quiet but unmistakable sense of knowing. Aquarius, your intuition is sharper than you sometimes give it credit for. You lean on your intellect so heavily that you occasionally override the quieter signals coming from a deeper place. The conversation coming your way is going to activate both your mind and your intuition simultaneously. And when both of those things are pointing in the same direction, that is when you stop circling and you start moving. Clue 5. Your energy has been attracting a new kind of attention. Something has shifted in the way people respond to you recently. Have you noticed it? People who did not pay much attention to you before are starting to take notice. Opportunities are arriving through unexpected channels. You are being brought into conversations that are operating at a higher level than what you were previously invited into. This shift in attention is not random. It reflects a shift in your own energy. Something about the way you are carrying yourself, the way you are speaking, the way you are showing up has changed, and the world is responding to that change. Aquarius, when you are fully aligned with your authentic self, when you stop trying to fit in and start letting your true nature lead, you become genuinely magnetic. People are drawn to the one who is unafraid to think differently, to question the standard narrative, to bring a fresh perspective to tired problems. That is who you are when you are at your best. And lately, you have been stepping more fully into that. The conversation that is coming is partly a result of this shift. Someone is going to reach out to you, or you are going to find yourself in a situation with someone new, precisely because the energy you are carrying has caught their attention. They are drawn to what they see in you, and what they want to discuss is directly connected to the gifts you carry. Be aware of who is showing up in your environment right now. Be aware of the new faces, the unexpected invitations, the random moments of connection that feel less random the more you pay attention. The universe is placing the right people in front of you at the right time. Clue 6. You have been having vivid or meaningful dreams. For Aquarius, the dream world is often where the subconscious processes things that the waking mind has not yet had the courage or space to confront. And lately, your dreams have been particularly active. Perhaps you cannot remember all the details when you wake up, but there is a feeling that lingers, a sense of urgency, of movement, of something important being communicated from a part of yourself that only speaks in the language of image and symbol. These dreams are not just your brain processing the day's noise. They are signs that something significant is being worked through at a deep level. The vivid dream life you are experiencing is a clue that your inner world is preparing for a change that your outer world has not yet caught up with. The conversation coming your way will act as a bridge between those two worlds. What has been living only inside you in the form of feelings and dreams and half-formed ideas is about to find a voice, find words, find shape in the real world through this exchange. Pay attention to any recurring themes in your dreams right now. Pay attention to the feelings, even if the images are unclear. Those feelings are information. If this message is resonating with your sign right now, trust that it is not a coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it sends exactly the right signal at exactly the right moment. And you are here because you needed to hear this today. Your support, whether as a subscriber or as a member of this community, is what keeps these messages alive. The ones that touch hearts, awaken minds, and transform lives. If this video has been making sense to you, drop in the comments the day you were born. Let us keep going. Clue 7. Something in your current environment feels too small for you. You have been aware of a growing sense that where you are, what you are doing, or how you are spending your time is not quite the right size for you anymore. Not that your life is bad. Not that the people around you are wrong. But there is a persistent feeling that you have expanded beyond the current container, and that something needs to shift. Aquarius has a natural drive toward growth, toward evolution, toward new horizons. When that drive is being suppressed, whether by circumstances, by fear, or simply by habit, it creates a low-level restlessness that can be hard to shake. The conversation coming your way is going to speak directly to this feeling. It may offer you a glimpse into a different way of living or working or connecting that feels more aligned with the size you have actually grown to. It may challenge you to stop playing smaller than you are. It may simply confirm what you already know, that you are ready for something bigger, and that readiness is a gift, not a problem to be managed. When a person who truly sees your capacity says the thing out loud that you have been thinking privately, something shifts in the permission you give yourself. You stop treating your own aspirations as impractical or premature. You start taking them seriously. That shift in self-permission is one of the most powerful things that can happen to a person, and it is part of what this upcoming conversation carries for you. Clue 8. You have felt a pull toward a specific person or topic lately. There is something or someone that keeps coming to your attention. A topic you find yourself reading about over and over. A person whose name or work keeps appearing in your life in different forms. A subject that pulls at you in a way that feels more like calling than curiosity. Aquarius is a sign of ideas and ideals, and when a particular idea or person keeps showing up in your awareness, that is rarely coincidence. The universe uses repetition to get your attention when you are not quite reading the subtler signals. This pull is pointing you toward the substance of the conversation that is coming. The person you have been thinking about, or someone who shares their energy and vision, is about to speak directly into your life. The topic you have been circling is about to become the center of a discussion that clarifies your relationship to it in a new and deeper way. Pay attention to the patterns of what keeps pulling at your attention right now. Those patterns are a preview. Clue 9. Your relationships have been shifting beneath the surface. Not dramatically, not with conflict or crisis, but quietly. You have been feeling closer to some people than usual, and more distant from others without being entirely sure why. Some connections have been deepening in ways that feel important. Others have been fading in ways that feel natural even if they are a little sad. This movement in your relationship landscape is significant because it is making room. It is clearing the space that needs to exist for the new connection and conversation that is approaching. Aquarius is selective about who gets real access to you. You are friendly to almost everyone, but genuinely close to very few. And when you do open up and trust someone with the inner world, the conversations that emerge from that trust are extraordinary. The shifting in your relational landscape right now is the universe preparing that space for the right person to step into. The conversation coming is not going to happen with someone who barely knows you. It is going to happen with someone who is earning or has already earned a place in that inner circle. Clue 10. You have been more honest than usual about what you actually want. Something has loosened in you. You have been allowing yourself to name what you actually want, even if just in your own mind, with a clarity and directness that is newer than usual. Aquarius can sometimes intellectualize desire to the point of losing touch with it. You can get so focused on what makes sense, what is logical, what serves the greater good, that you lose track of what you simply and personally want. But lately, that personal wanting has been speaking up with more insistence. You have been noticing your own desires more clearly and giving them more room. This honesty with yourself is a prerequisite for the conversation that is coming. Because what you are about to discuss with someone is going to require you to be clear about what you want. Not just what you think is best, not just what makes theoretical sense, but what you actually want for your life, your work, your relationships, your future. That level of personal honesty, spoken out loud to someone who can receive it well, is part of what makes this conversation transformative. You are being prepared to speak your truth more fully than you have in a long time. Clue 11. You have had a feeling that something is about to change. Beneath all the day-to-day activity, beneath the routine and the noise, there has been a quiet but persistent sense that something is about to shift. Not an anxiety exactly, though it might carry a little nervousness with it. More like a sense of anticipation, like standing at a door that is about to open, though you cannot yet see what is on the other side. Aquarius, you are perceptive in a way that goes beyond ordinary awareness. You often sense things before they happen. You feel the change in the atmosphere before anyone else names it. And right now, that perceptive part of you is on high alert. Trust that feeling. It is not anxiety without basis. It is awareness without full information. The conversation that is coming is exactly the thing your inner radar has been detecting. It is real, it is approaching, and it is going to open that door you have been standing at. On the other side is a version of your path that is more aligned, more honest, more expansive than where you currently stand. All the clues, the questions, the dreams, the restlessness, the new attention, the shifting relationships, they have all been leading here. If this message resonated with your sign, trust that it is not a coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it always sends exactly the right signal. And you are here because you needed to hear this today. Your support as a subscriber or as a member of this community is what keeps these messages alive. They are the messages that touch, awaken, and transform. If this video made sense to you, leave in the comments the day you were born. Aquarius, you have always been someone who lives slightly ahead of the moment you are in. You think in futures. You plan for possibilities that others have not even imagined yet. That is one of your greatest gifts, and it is also one of the things that can make the present feel thin at times, like the world you are actually in is not quite the one you belong to. But here is the truth about this moment in your life. The gap between the world you envision and the world you are inhabiting is closing. The conversation that is coming is not a small moment in a long series of small moments. It is a turning point. It is the kind of exchange that, when you look back on it later, you will recognize as the beginning of something that mattered deeply. You have done the internal work. You have asked the hard questions. You have been honest with yourself in ways that were not always comfortable. You have allowed your energy to shift and your relationships to rearrange, and your dreams to carry their messages to you, even when waking life felt loud and distracting. All of that work, all of that openness, all of that Aquarian willingness to see the truth even when it complicates things has been preparation. preparation for this conversation, and for everything it is going to set in motion. When the moment arrives, you will know it. You will feel the conversation taking on a different weight, a different quality of attention. Do not rush it. Do not steer it toward where you think it should go. Let it breathe. Let it go where it needs to go. The other person is carrying something for you, and you are carrying something for them, and the only way both things get delivered is if you both stay open and present and willing to follow the thread wherever it leads. After the conversation ends, give yourself time to sit with what has been said. Aquarius can sometimes intellectualize a moment immediately after it happens, turning it into a puzzle to be solved rather than an experience to be absorbed. This time, try to simply feel it before you analyze it. Let the shift settle into your body before your mind starts categorizing it. Because this conversation is going to work on multiple levels at once, and the full meaning of it will unfold gradually over the days and weeks that follow. You are ready for this. The 11 clues laid out in this message have all been pointing to the same truth. That you are at a genuine turning point, that the universe has been working behind the scenes to arrange this meeting of minds and hearts, and that when it arrives, it will change things for the better in ways you cannot yet fully see but can already begin to feel. Stay open, Aquarius. The most important conversation of this season is already on its way to you.